All right, so in this video, we are going to build a tattoo consultation bot for a tattoo shop in Annapolis, Maryland. Now, I provide these bots as a standard feature for my tattoo software as a service company. We provide that as a part of Lead Brain. I charge $497 a month to our tattoo shops to provide these services as well as other services like digitized consent forms and some other CRM backend functions that we do for them and automations. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to build this exact bot for your shop or for your agency. My goal here is to be completely transparent, to show you exactly how I do things, no gatekeeping. You should be able to follow along. If you click the link below, there is a free account for Closebot. It allows you to build one bot and actually use it operationally. If you want to build, go ahead and click the link below and follow along. Without further ado, let's hop in. So why am I building this bot? Tattoo shops are busy. I don't know if you've ever been into a tattoo shop, but if you notice, it's typically filled with tattoo artists and people getting tattoos, and not necessarily somebody sitting at the front desk as a receptionist. There are some shops that do have an apprentice that sits up there, or maybe a receptionist that they've hired, but some shops are just small, and everybody who's in there is busy tattooing, so they either miss calls, or they have a lot of people who follow them on social media and reach out trying to get set up for a tattoo. So artists have their hands full, almost literally and figuratively. They're not necessarily salespeople on the call. So we want to give their leads opportunities to be able to reach out and talk to them, even when they are busy. If I noticed, or I put here large social media followings, the reason I did that is because if you come down here, I have an example of a tattoo artist. Somebody we've talked to is actually probably a future client, which is why I blurred out some of the information. And he has a line here that says text consultation to, and then he puts his phone number. Now, currently, he actually responds to these manually. And so this leads to him getting a deluge of text messages, and then he has to wait till he has time to go through all of them. I don't know if he gets to all of them immediately. Actually, I know he doesn't, but he misses opportunity. And he also waits a long time. So if somebody was like in the moment and they wanted that tattoo now, and he doesn't get back to them until Friday and it's Monday, he might have missed that opportunity to another artist in the community. So we're trying to prevent that. Now, where will this bot work? This bot will work on a website chat widget, which is what we're going to demo here today. But it also work via SMS, text message, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, and a few other channels that are less common like WhatsApp. Now, when will this bot be triggered? When somebody engages with the chat widget on the website, like we're going to do in this demo, but it'll also be triggered if, let's say, we miss a call. If the shop misses a call, we can trigger an outbound SMS message that starts this conversation and goes through A to Z. I'll show you the objectives that we programmed this bot to have, gather that information and pass it over to the artist. This could also be triggered if somebody sends a DM on Facebook or on Instagram, and if someone fills out a form on our website, we can trigger an outbound text message to start having this conversation if we need to gather more information like, hey, what's the tattoo description and their consultation availability, etc. It can also happen if we're running ads in a few other areas, but we're just going to focus on these for now. Quick disclaimer, this is a technical video, and so I recommend that you watch this all the way through with no distractions. You can follow along and you can copy and paste these prompts. I'm going to provide them in a link below. If you want to download them, you can literally just follow with this video, copy and paste, and test your bot live with me. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. So I have a mind map here. If you've watched any of my previous content, I like to stay organized and have a repeatable bot building process. I recommend you do the same if you're building these bots for other people, or maybe even if you're building them for yourself. I found that this process of creating custom fields first and then going on and doing the rest of the things helps with the flow and prevents you from having to go back and forth into your HighLevel and Closebot account. So first things first, we're gonna build some custom fields. So we're gonna have 3 custom fields here. Artist preference, we're gonna ask the lead, hey, do they have a preference for the artists at the shop? Do they have the tattoo idea? Give us that description. And then what's their consultation availability so that we know that before we reach out to them. So let's go in here, click on settings in HighLevel, and then click on custom fields. If you hear some background noise, I apologize. My dog is viciously chewing on a bone here. You're just going to have to deal with it. So we're going to add a folder here just to stay organized. And I'm going to say tattoo demo. And then let's just go into this folder. Where are you? My camera's in the way. Folders. Tattoo demo. There you go. All right. Now let's go ahead and add a single line text, and we are going to say artist preference This is where we're going to store the value for the question we asked them, which artist do they prefer. Next thing we're going to add is tattoo idea. So we'll make this a multi-line. Consultation availability, we'll make that single line. All right. So now we have our custom fields. We can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is going to be building out our bot in Closebot, which is probably the most involved process here. So I do have all the prompts that we're going to use already pre-written here. We'll go over them, not in great detail, but we'll go over them. And then I'll provide this for you as well if you just want to copy it. Now, for this example, we are actually going to create this web chat widget for Dapper Dog Tattoo, which is a tattoo shop out of Annapolis, Maryland, a current client of ours. And right now they do have a chat widget, but it is a standard like static SMS chat widget. Somebody can fill this out and then they'll get a text message, but there's no bot interaction. So we're going to convert this to a live chat widget and then we'll test it here live. Here's what we'll do. We'll come into the Closebot account. I created a bot here and I just have a blank bot. I named it Dapper Dog Tattoo Bot. I gave the bot name of Sarah and I didn't make any changes over here. So next thing we're going to do is come into integration and we are going to look for our sub account, which is named Lead Brain Coaching Demo. And then we will go into our main prompt where we will start to fill out the main prompt. So here I'm going to use the bot voices of friendly and unprofessional as usual. The reason I use friendly and unprofessional is just to keep the bot more conversational, more jolly instead of being robotic. Now, why the conversation is happening. So in here, I have some pre-built prompts that I use. If you notice or watch any of my other videos, all these bots will start to seem very similar in the prompt style. And the reason I do that is because they're working. And so I try to keep things as consistent as possible and build frameworks around building bots so that it can help me scale and also provide a more predictable experience for these bots. Why the conversation is happening, I have here, you are a skilled apprentice for Dapper Dog Tattoo. Lead Name is contacting you because they're interested in getting a tattoo. They either found you online or saw in social media advertisement. So I think that is good enough. If you use this and you wanted to change it, maybe you don't want them to be an apprentice, maybe you want them to be like a receptionist, and you would just change, the title here. Save. Anytime you're operating inside of Closebot or Go HighLevel, I encourage you to save and save often, because the last thing you want to do is get through this entire prompt and then hit the refresh button or your browser crashes and you lose all your work. Important business information. Again, a framework that I use, right? Keeping things organized. If you look at this prompt here, it's neat to the eyes. And I do that on purpose because it's neat to the human eye and it's also neat to the AI. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that. If you notice, this is just a standard description. You got the company name. You have a brief summary of the company info, about 400 characters. You have what services they provide. We have their company website. And then we also provided a list of artists. Now that's optional. One of our objectives is we're going to ask if they have an artist preference. And I think a follow-on question might be, who are your artists? And so I just wanted to provide that a list. You can also provide this as a knowledge base item. So you see the knowledge storage section here. You can actually create a text document with all these artists, with all these artists and then their specialties. So if they have specific artistic skills and specialties that they're known for, you can create that in there. And that way you would better inform the bot, like, hey, Charlie's good at realism and whatever. You get the point. Now, how to respond. So you come in here and we use, this is a standard blurb I always use. Do not use lead name in your responses. The reason I do that is I want to prevent the AI from saying the name in every response. Hey, Justin, thank you for that. Hey, Justin, thank you for that. It's just not human. So we prevent that with that first comment there. Don't be too heavy on sales. Make the conversation casual. If lead name asks you a personal question, come up with a sincere response and keep your responses less than 160 characters in length. We do that so if we're texting them, we remain under the standard one segment text message. If it starts responding with longer messages, then we're going to be charged for multiple text messages. So we're trying to keep it at a one message maximum. Now, you notice that the bullet points didn't transfer over here. So if you want to, you can come in here and just add dashes and then save. Too easy. Now we come into the objectives. So we've got a blank slate now, and let's come over here to our plan, and we're going to create a few objectives. So these are all custom objectives. And what do I mean by that? Closebot has a standard set of objectives that are already pre-prompted for you, like name, phone number, and email address. So I don't include those in the layout because there's really nothing you need to do for them. So I am going to add them to my objectives, but I'm not necessarily going to include them in this blueprint. That's important for you to know, because if you download this blueprint and you're following them and you didn't watch this video all the way through and you're like, how the heck did you get the name? It's because you didn't watch the video all the way through. But first things first, we're going to ask the lead for their name. And if you notice here, I have no update fields, auto update fields. And that's important to notice. And this is a troubleshooting scenario that you will likely find yourselves in. And the reason that happened is because we did integrate our bot into our HighLevel or Lead Brain account, but what we didn't do is refresh after that. So anytime you do that, anytime you create a new custom field, or anytime you integrate a bot into a new sub account, you need to refresh the page and let it load before all those fields get pulled in, so you can go ahead and select them. So we are going to pause for a second and let it do its thing. All right, so let's go into objectives. And now when we add this objective, you see the auto field update section. I didn't mean to click that. And we can go ahead and select name. And you see it's already pre-filled with a short description and an extra prompt. And honestly, I think it's perfect the way it sits. So I'm not going to make any changes and click save. Next one we're going to do is artist preference. So let's come in here and we are going to, let me copy this. Come in here and add an objective. We're going to name it artist preference. We are going to paste a short description. We're going to search for the field artist preference. Now, if you don't see your field come up here, it's either because you're linked to the wrong sub account whenever you integrated the bot, or you haven't created that custom field yet, or you haven't refreshed this page since you've linked it or created the custom field. So we're going to select that. We are going to skip this objective if it's already filled out. Now, this lead may have come back and maybe a returning customer, and maybe we already know their artist preference, or maybe we have a form that they filled out, say on an ad or something, and so we already asked about their artist preference and we already have it. That's the reason why we enable that. If we come back in here and look at any other settings, skip if true, yep, gather information, false, sensitivity 50, looks good. We're not gonna, it's not a sensitive question, so we're not gonna configure any max attempts or anything. Cool. Next one we're going to do is tattoo idea. So we're going to try to get a brief description of the tattoo. And if we come in here, copy this, create a new objective, tattoo idea, we're going to paste this in there. And skip if already complete. Now, if you noticed, I'm not over prompting the system. So like, in every single one of these objectives, there's an opportunity to add an extra prompt and add a bunch of detail. In my experience, the less you give it, the better. Let AI do its thing. If you start testing this and you realize that it's doing something that you don't like, then you can come in here and add an extra prompt. Or if it's a pretty complicated or nuanced question, then you might be more inclined to add an extra prompt. But I always start out with I always err on the side of less is more. The more you start adding to these bot prompts, the more complicated it gets and causes hallucinations and all that weird stuff that AI likes to do. Everything else we're going to keep standard. I'm going to save that. And then next thing we're going to do is we are going to look for consultation availability. So this is an example where the extra prompt may be necessary. So let's go ahead and copy this description. We're going to name this consultation availability, paste that description, search for the field, skip if already filled out. Now in the extra prompt here, we said, hey, do not suggest an appointment, do not confirm the appointment. Your job is to gather information for the artist. The artist will personally contact that lead name to confirm the details of their consultation. Now I know from experience that when you ask questions like this, the bot will try to actually confirm the appointment, and that can be very confusing and actually detrimental to the business if that's not exactly what they want. We've had situations where people actually showed up and showed the text message saying, hey, the bot told me, they don't know it's a bot. Maybe they just think it's Sarah. The apprentice told me to come over here Tuesday at noon. And that's not actually what the artist wanted. So we put this extra prompt in there to prevent that. This is an example of an extenuating circumstance that we want to make sure the bot doesn't have creative freedom on. Let's go ahead and paste that. And we'll leave everything else the same. Save. Now, the next thing we'll do is we will gather their phone number if we don't already have it. Now, if this came in from a missed call, we would already have the phone number, but the bot's smart enough to know not to ask for the phone number if it already has it. That's what that checkbox is for. But if it came in via chat widget, maybe we don't have their phone number, or social media DM, we don't have their phone number, so we're going to ask for that. Again, that is a standard field, so it's not included in this sort of mind map. And it's also, we didn't prompt it. We just stuck with whatever Closebot had as its standard prompt. Now, the last custom field or last custom objective we're going to add is actually a little different. We're going to add a give information prompt, and this is building off the last objective where we were looking at consultation availability. We're just going to say, hey, thank you. Your appointment's not yet confirmed. You must wait until your artist reaches out to you to confirm that appointment. And so we just want to be super sure that that behavior is what we expect. So we're going to come in here, add an objective, and instead of gather info in the settings, we are going to say this is a give info type. And then what did we call this? Consultation info. And then we are going to copy the short description. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. And save. Now at this point, the bot is completely built. And what we need to do next is we need to integrate the bot into our Go HighLevel. If you forget how to do it, you can always go into the integration menu and click on setup instructions. I reference this all the time, but all we need is one super simple workflow for this entire bot to work. That's what makes Closebot so awesome. It is simple. A lot of the processing is happening automatically on the back end on the Closebot side. So what we need to do is create a new workflow. And before we create this workflow, I'm actually going to create a live chat widget first, just because for demo purposes, that's how I'm going to demonstrate it and test it with you guys live here. So let's come in here and go to sites. Let's go to chat widget and create a new live chat widget. And we're going to call this the tattoo demo. All right, awesome. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come into automations, and we are going to create a new automation workflow from scratch. Let's call this tattoo demo. The trigger is going to be customer replied. Then I'm going to name this live chat. This is a arbitrary name that I gave it. Just I remain organized. And then here I'm going to say reply channel is live chat. And then I'm going to come in here and say live chat is tattoo demo. That's why I created the live chat first, because if I didn't create the live chat first, then these setting filters wouldn't be available to me. So save, I'm going to save. Like I said, I save often. And then the action, the only action we need to configure is webhook. And we are going to leave that as a post. And we're going to copy this URL here that Closebot provides. Now, if you're building a white labeled setup, you can use the AWS link here, but for this demo, we can go ahead and just paste api.closebot.ai. And we're going to publish this workflow and click save. Awesome. So now the bot is created, the bot automation is built, the bot is connected. We just need a place to demonstrate it. So what I like to do when I'm demoing a bot for a company is I actually like to take like a screenshot of their website and then use it as the background. I'll show you what I mean in the funnel when I demonstrate it. So if I come in here and just take a quick screenshot, it's actually going to capture like my screen recording metadata. So this isn't a good example, but as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to move this to another screen and then I'll capture it here. That way I'm not capturing all my video recording stuff. Again, the reason I do this is so that if I'm demoing it to a company, then it looks like I spent some time and personalized this funnel for them. Or if I'm handing it to them and letting them play with it themselves, then they look and feel like it's in their company. So we're going to go to sites, go to funnels, and then we're going to add a new funnel. And let's call this the tattoo demo funnel. This demo funnel is going to be extremely simple, except essentially all we need access to is the chat widget, and we're going to set the background. So let's go to settings. Chat widget, tattoo demo, and then click save. That's going to add that live chat widget that we just created onto this funnel. And then we're going to create a new step. Let's call this the demo page. Create funnel step. Awesome. Now let's create from blank. All we're going to do is add a section in here. If you don't add a section, it doesn't allow you to save. So we're just going to add a blank section. And then here's the background trick. So we're going to come in here to background. We are going to upload an image. Let's see, desktop. And then select it. And there you go. We can mess with it here if we wanted to center the width and whatever, but I'm not going to focus on styling here. So once I have that, if I click preview, there you go. Again, not going to restyle this, but we have a demonstration of their website showing in the background, and then we have our chat widget that we just created. So let's go ahead and test a bot. Hey, I need a tattoo. I'm not going to speed this up. I want you to see the response times. Hey there. Interesting. So I actually built a bot before this for a mortgage company in another demo that I uploaded to my YouTube channel. And so it's getting confused because we have both of those bots connected to the same sub account. So that's a very good, I'm glad that happened because this may happen to you live. So what I want to do here is I am going to go in a new screen and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'll drag the screen over here when we're ready, just waiting for it to load here. All right, so if you notice here, this is a different bot that I had built in a previous demo. And if I go to integrate here, it is integrated to the same bot account. And we have nothing inside the sub account to tell it, hey, use this bot for this scenario and this bot for the other scenario. So we're just going to go ahead and disconnect it here. And what we'll do is make sure we'll leave that open for now. We'll come in here. We're going to delete the contact because the contact is created every time a live chat happens. So we're just going to go ahead and delete this. And then once that contact is deleted, I'm just going to go ahead and save the page and refresh it. And let's see if that fixes our issue. I'm glad this happened live because it's going to happen to you at some point. And so you can troubleshoot it. At this point, it should respond as if it's our tattoo bot if we have it integrated correctly. If not, we'll continue to troubleshoot. Hey there, who do I have the pleasure of chatting with today? Its first objective is to ask for my name. I'm going to ask it what their company name is. I just want to make sure we're talking to the right bot. Awesome. So we are. All right, my name. You can have my name now. Now this bot's going to sequentially go through those objectives and capture the information and save it in the CRM. I'll show you where it's all being saved. It's really neat. You don't actually have to go through and skim through the conversation and copy down the information, the tattoo idea, the artist preference, the consultation availability, is all going to be saved inside of the Lead Brain CRM or in your HighLevel CRM if you're building this out in your sub account. Nice to meet you. Are you thinking about getting a tattoo from any particular artist or any artist in particular? Who are the artists? I'm pushing back on this bot a little bit just to see how it reacts. Now, this is a more simple build here, so it really shouldn't have any issues with this conversation. Cool. So yeah, we'll say a word here for Chris. And it's cool because like this list of artists matches with the guest artist in the actual on the website. This is just a static image, but if I hover over artist, those artists will be listed. So if somebody wanted to like check out the different artists, or if they're already on the website and they were checking out the artist and their profile and their bio, and they saw this chat widget at the bottom of that page, they already know, hey, I'm interested in Chris. What's the idea? I want a bunny on my right calf. I don't actually want a bunny on my right calf. I don't know why that came to mind. A bunny sounds adorable. When might you be free to pop into the shop to chat about your design? Sometime this weekend. Now, if I wanted to have shop hours inside of the main prompt, the bot would probably respond with our shop hours, or I can add this into the extra prompt to say, hey, be sure that like they know what the shop hours are. That would be a good idea for this. Great. Could you share your phone number? Sure. 910-212-6874 or 5. This isn't a real phone number. Please don't contact that phone number and bother some poor soul. Got it. We'll reach out to you soon and confirm the consultation for this weekend. Looking forward to it. So that's awesome. It went through and it created or accomplished all of our objectives. It worked. It was timely. It was fast. It was smooth. And if we come in here to our contacts, all that information has been conveniently stored for us inside of this tattoo demo area. Artist preference is Chris. They want their bunny on their right calf, and consultation availability is sometime this weekend. Now, at this point, we can use Go HighLevel automations to go out and trigger automations to notify Chris that he has somebody who's interested in using him for a tattoo, or you need to set up a new consultation, whatever you may do. But this can be customized for you in your implementation. I just wanted to go on here and show you exactly how we built this. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this is valuable. And I have multiple bot demos on this YouTube channel. So if you want to see if I created a bot demo for an industry you're interested in, just check somewhere around here for different sorts of bot demos and other examples. Have a nice day, and bye for now.